Officer Tatum thought this debate would be straightforward. Tezlyn Figaro had other ideas. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from, like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's watch what happened.
Revolt News Chief Political Correspondent Tezlyn Figaro and former police officer and host of the Officer Tatum show, Brandon Tatum. Great to see both of you. Thanks for being here. So, Brandon, let's start with you. Just from a law enforcement perspective, what do you make of the timeline, the lack of answers, what maybe occurred here?
Well, I think the first thing is that these activists have came in and brought in information or lies about circumstances to make people question. The law enforcement officers have already done an autopsy. They've already investigated. There's no sign of foul play. And one thing that's very interesting that I just found out recently is that it wasn't a situation where you have Nolan Wells and four of the kids at an island. There's thousands of people there. There's hundreds of different boats. So him staying behind while some of his other friends went back to the mainland wasn't that suspicious. I really wish that the family would focus on Nolan Wells' life, focus on the investigation, and let the police do their job instead of interjecting race into this situation. And it's completely unnecessary to be there at this point.
So, Teslyn, you've worked with Ben Crump. You have valuable insight into how he operates. You're not speaking for him tonight, but what do you think about the timeline and whether it determines whether Nolan was still alive before the boat left the island, like his friends insist?
Yeah, thank you, Katie. I'm speaking as a mom, of a 19-year-old. In the same way Officer Tatum wishes that people would not insert lies, I wish Officer Tatum would allow the investigation, the independent investigation, to run its course. You don't know, Mr. Tatum, what has been talked about in this investigation. It has not been complete, and people have not came forward to say what happened with Nolan Wells. So I actually do believe his parents when they said that they taught their son to leave with whoever you came with. So for you to make the accusations that is a lie when they're burying their son on Monday is, quite frankly, to be disgusting, Officer Tatum.
Well,
and I'm ashamed.
You know what's
and
funny? I hope that you're paying attention to this, because there's a lot of information that have come out, and I've gotten firsthand knowledge about some things that have happened on that island, and people are going to be ashamed of themselves for sitting here lying and pushing racism in this circumstance.
Well,
I don't know what happened, but I do know. I'll let you finish. I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just saying I got firsthand knowledge too. But as we're talking about right now, as we're talking about right now, you made the accusation that there were lies, that race has been interjected. Like I said last week, if people don't want people to speculate, then investigate. So this.
Well, that's true, Brandon. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that topic, because Ben Crump is notorious and has been criticized by people who have used him in the past for their cases of being an ambulance chaser, pushing a narrative that fits the racial lens that he wants it to. You've talked about this on your podcast and how you believe young black men are unfortunately killed every single day. And people like Ben Crump and Al Sharpton just highlight certain stories that benefit them rather than the families.
Well, let's keep it real. This is all about money. Benjamin Crump would never show up to a kid's funeral or say anything about a kid that's killed by another black kid. But if there's an opportunity to interject racism into a situation where there's no evidence of racism, Benjamin Crump will be there to do it. What is his end goal? He's not a criminal. He's not a criminal attorney. So he's not going to help the family get justice on a criminal level. He's a civil rights attorney. You don't need a civil rights attorney in a case where you're wondering if the investigation is going right for your son, unless you believe this has something to do with racism.
Let him finish, and then I'll let you talk, okay? Let him finish his point, and then I'll let you respond.
He's going on a diatribe, so let's...
No, he's not. He's speaking, and I'll let you respond as soon as he's done making his point.
Katie, I'll let the young lady go. Go ahead. I would love to hear what you got to say to that.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, Officer Tatum. Thank you. Well, let's just once again, speaking about things that you don't know about. Katie, you set it up with talking about Ben Crump being notorious for race baiting. I could name a couple of things that Officer Tatum here is also notorious for. So let's be careful on how we.
We don't need these personal attacks.
I'm gonna finish my statement. I'm gonna finish my statement, and let me also correct you on something else, Mr. Tatum. When you said Ben Crump would never show up for a black kid that was murdered by a black kid, my cousin Jordan Turner, who was 19 and was murdered by another black kid that also went away with his friends and never returned home, guess who showed up? Attorney Benjamin Crump. I know you're looking confused. See, this is why it's important
that you. Was that related to black people? There was black people involved in his death?
Yep. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that's
And they were
one.
convicted, and they were
That's one
convicted of
And
thing.
we
murder.
didn't hear about
And
it
they were
plastered all over the
convicted of murder.
media. That's a
So
big
see,
difference.
this is why you don't know. This is why you should speak of what you know and not what you heard. So again, when it comes down to Nolan Wells, I ask that we use this time to ask people to come forward and speak about what they know. The young man
Sure.
did not come home, Brandon. He didn't come home. So let's use this time instead of focusing on what people are saying in the comments. Let's continue to
Well,
stay in
Brandon, I
and
mean,
uplift this
Ben Crump
mother
is the
that's
one
burying
making
her,
this a
that's burying,
conversation in
that's
the
burying her
media. This is
child on
Ben
Monday.
Crump is
Is
the one
race
making this
involved
a conversation in the media. He's the one pushing this out there, so people do speculate ahead of the investigation, not
And
letting
let
it
them,
play out. But Brandon, I want to
okay, and
ask you
then
this
what?
question. Teslyn, 1 second. Brandon, there's been a lot of accusation and pushing that Nolan Wells' white friends have not been questioned enough as if they were somehow responsible for his death based on race. That seems like a highly irresponsible narrative to be pushing, especially when we don't know all of the facts yet.
100%. It is a flat out lie. The police department isn't doing their investigation. They're doing it fair and properly. You can't, Benjamin Crump cannot come out right now and say that the investigation isn't going like it should. They're interjecting race into something that has nothing to do with race. These boys were friends. The coach came out, who happened to be a black man, that said he don't believe race is a factor. These boys grew up together. These boys go to school together. This is a tragic situation, and they should leave it at what it is, and that's a tragedy. Let the investigation unfold. Benjamin Crump they're already out saying this has something to do with race because the boy was with white guys. That is asinine.
Just like you
That is
describe it when
shameful to start
just
that.
like you describe it when you talk about black on black crime constantly. So what a black man, a young black boy went with his white friends and didn't come back. So why are you not asking the white children to speak up? Nobody saw nothing, Brandon.
Ain't got
They
nothing to
are
do with being
speaking.
white.
They are
It has
speaking
everything
to
to
the
do with the fact
investigators.
that he didn't come home.
All right, we got to
What's
run.
white got to do with anything?
We got to
What's
run.
white
We,
got to do
we're
with it?
describing it.
we
Just like
hope
you
that the
described it when
family
you
can
talk
get
about
some
black on black
answers
crime.
because a young man is dead and we want his family to have closure. Tezlyn Figaro and Brandon Tatum, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
So, there you have it. This debate highlighted two very different perspectives on how the Nolan Wells case should be discussed while the investigation continues. As more information emerges, the focus remains on finding answers and giving the family the clarity they're seeking. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.